Welcome to Talk Theory. It's your host, Kiara Barnes, where I talk all things life, what makes us human, and what makes us superhuman. Sit back, relax, and join me for a chat. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Talk Theory. I'm laughing because I started recording this and we were getting through it and things were looking good, and then it just stopped recording. So here we are again. Hi. How's everyone doing this week? I hope so good. We are already halfway through January, which is pretty wild, but I'm okay with it. Y'all know I love the spring and summer the most. I'm a June baby, so but then again, I'm learning to be happy with where I am and what I've got now, which leads us into today's chit chat. Happiness, the art of being happy, because it really is an art. What does it really mean to be happy? To have happiness? Is it having everything you've ever wanted in life? Is it sharing a laugh with a close friend? Is it success in your career, having a great relationship, having a ton of money? What is it? And truth be told, happiness could most definitely be any of one of those things, if not all of them. And now, our trusty steed, Google, describes it in two ways. So one, they say feeling or showing pleasure or contentment. And then two, having a sense of confidence in or satisfaction with. I talked about this in last week's episode, how I've been revisiting a more into-depth wellness journey again. So that goes for what I'm eating, drinking, putting on my skin, my meditation practice, yoga practice, what I'm reading, tapping therapy. I'm just giving myself a full 3 months, really, to check in and kind of see what's happened. Now, what I've assigned myself to do is leading up to that 3-month mark, at the end of every month, so every month leading up to that, right, I do like a mini check-in to see what's happened within the month. How am I feeling? What came up? What's changed? And like, what were some big aha moments for me? Yeah, I'm just doing this like really nice self introspection kind of thing just because I felt guided to do it, and it's been nice. But one thing I've noticed with all the things that I'm doing, and mind you, none of this feels overwhelming. It doesn't feel forced. I'm approaching this with a lot more curiosity than an approach where it's like, oh, if I do this, I'll get this. And I've definitely done that before, 100%. Because I think on a subconscious level, things become really rigid and there's no fun of exploration. It's more operational, where it's like, oh, 2 + 2 = 4. That's not really how the universe works, There's no set way of knowing, oh, if I do this, then I'll get this. So it's almost better to just do the things for you in the sense of exploration and optimism, and then see what gets presented. But anyhow, I've noticed this overall sense of peace and happiness much more often than before. I'm definitely able to separate myself from things that would normally garner fear, worry, or anxiety, and just let go and allow myself to live in the present. And I was saying, I feel overall a lot more optimistic. And I mean, it's been a lot of reprogramming. I will say not every day is a home run, but when I use my tools on those days where I'm a little more stuck in my head, the end result can feel really good. And Sometimes I just take the I agree to disagree approach and decide to start again tomorrow. Sometimes I just need rest or my body just needs a break. Now, some specific things that have come up for me about this idea that I will be happy when, right? I'll be happy when I have that house. I'll be happy when I have that job, that money, that friend group, whatever it may be. And I feel most of us have done this in our lives. It's a very human thing to have desires and dreams, which we should. We are here on earth to experience and to create. But I think if we're waiting, though, for someone or for something to happen in order to be happy, we miss out on all the good stuff happening in the moment because we're so concerned about getting to the next thing, the next moment, that you could literally be having such a great experience happening right in front of you in the now, and you choose to ignore it, right? So you miss it and you never feel fully accomplished or at peace because of this whole mentality of, oh, I need to finish the race. I'm in a race and I need to finish it. And here's the thing about that. Not to be morbid, y'all, but the end of the race is death. Okay? And look, there's nothing wrong with that because it's a circle of life. That's what happens. But there's no medal you get or trophy when you die that says, oh, congratulations, you completed X amount of hours or X amount of things, or you got this and that. Again, not that those things are bad, but what you get to keep, what I'm trying to say is what you get to keep after this life, what I believe you get to keep, is anything you felt energetically that helped you grow or connect to your highest self or higher self, meaning good memories, any positive moments of peace, love, connection, while you got the opportunity to live and be in a human body on earth. And did you get to live your life the way you wanted to and fully? So again, I think there's a balance. I think that's the beautiful opportunity of being alive and being born into a human body. Have you ever thought about that? You could have been a dog, a fish, a tree, a cat, which I love. We love Luna. But no, you were chosen to coexist with everything else on earth as a human. And that's such a layered experience with so much to explore and do. So of course you should have desires. Of course you should want to create and see your dreams come true. Absolutely. You've won the lottery essentially to be here and be able to do the things you're able to do. But you should also be able to get to a point of appreciation with that, with being here, being alive, what you have now, what you've done up to this point, and realizing that you don't necessarily need anyone or anything to make you happy or to create your happiness. You can literally do that all on your own. And for me, I just had that aha moment when I realized that I get this unlimited access to happiness and peace. What? And I don't have to complete anything first. I don't need anyone's permission or approval. And I get to have it for me. And I experienced it through what I'm doing right now, right? All this yoga and breathing techniques and tapping and journaling and meditation, because I'm spending so much time with myself and coming to a lot of moments of realization, and it's bringing me an immense sense of peace and happiness. And I just realized like, oh, whoa, I didn't necessarily receive any physical thing. No one said anything to me. No one told me the things that I'm feeling. I'm just feeling this on my own. And that is so amazing. I get to have it for me. I think especially in my industry, because I can only speak from my experience, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. But in my industry, it's easy to get attached to these roles and the meetings and auditions because they're such incredible opportunities. But I realize I love this work because I just love to create. And I love to understand one another on a deeper level. When I go through these scripts and stuff, I get to connect and understand, through the heart and learn from one another and grow from it, discuss it, analyze it. So yes, would it be lovely to get booked on everything I go out for? Sure. Financially? Sure. But even so, I believe when it comes to money, that's, money is always going to be around. You do a job and you'll receive compensation, but it's even past financial. I'm realizing it's so personal to my growth, and whatever I'm diving into, I'm giving my full heart to. And that means a lot to me. So if it's for the highest good for me and for all involved that I receive this part and tell this story, then I accept it with open arms. But if not, I keep my arms open for that story that is just right for me. Nothing left to it. There is no competition. That's something that I've had to really ingrain. There is no competition. When you open your heart and keep your vulnerability open to possibilities, I really believe what's for you couldn't miss you if it tried. It's just the law of attraction, the law of life. When you're in alignment with things, or if you're tuned in, it's like being tuned into a radio station. When you're listening to something specific, you get that exact thing back, So when we're feeding our souls and uplifting our own vibrations, we're able to create space for more of that to come in. So it's a little give and a lot of let go and trust. But I understand the challenges of doing this, especially with social media. It's easy to get on and see what someone else has or what they're doing and feel like it's miles away from you or out of reach, which isn't true at all. But again, mindsets and old beliefs / attachments to the old stories we've been taught. We have to relearn and reprogram. This earth is floating in space right now and rotating, all the while we're able to sit or stand wherever, locked to the ground because of this thing called gravity. Like what? There's all kinds of different things in the bottom of the ocean that no one's ever seen before but exist. There's over 7 billion people on our planet alone. And you're going to tell me that only one person can have one thing at a time? No, that's just not true. We live in an overly abundant world. You go into any grocery shop, clothing shop, and go down a street, you can see it for yourself. There's stuff everywhere, because there's space. There's enough to go around. We don't need to be hand in hand with the scarcity mindset. And some might say, oh, well, that's not scarcity mindset. That's just reality. And I say, no, baby, no, that's your reality. Okay. I was just telling my father this the other day, that I am not responsible for the stories of others. I'm only responsible for mine. Meaning, I'm not discounting someone's experience or whatever they're going through, right? Because that's what they're going through. Hi, Luna. But I choose that I don't have to be a carbon copy of someone else in their story and their experiences. As we stated earlier, at the end of this is death. What do I look like getting to the end of my life, realizing I didn't even live my own life while I had the time to be here? Like, bro, gosh, I lived someone else's. I mean, honestly, how silly Billy would you feel at the end? You'd be like, dang, man. Well, hopefully I get my next turn again, you know? And I know you're thinking, okay, all right, I hear you. Then how do I get there from here? How do I get to be happy? Because right now it feels hard to get there. And I understand that because again, we're all humans. Our natural senses and ability is to kind of question and to have these I guess what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like our natural ability as humans is to take things in a complex way where, you know, if we just approach things in a more calmer sense, we could get to where we want to get to. Hopefully that made sense. And truthfully be told, the only answer to how do I get to be happy? How do I get to happiness? The only answer is to get there, you have to go through you. That's the only way. That's the only way. I'm sorry. That's the only way. It's the simplest answer, but it's so complex to us all because we've been living in a way that says we only garner happiness through things that we get or do or receive, right? Not the things that we do or the things we are. So first things first, ask yourself, are you happy? And why? Why? Get a piece of paper and write. Or your phone notes app and just go for as long as you feel. And then you're going to reread that and you're going to acknowledge where your thought process has been leading you. Are you being supportive or are you being your own bully? Why are you talking this way? Who taught you this? Because a lot of this is learned, you know, parents, people around us, whatever. Why is it important that you live the way that someone's taught you? Why? Just start asking yourself all these questions. What do you want? Just ask. And after you get through the physical stuff of what do you want, ask yourself, what would that bring you? Perhaps you find what you really want is peace, relaxation, sense of confidence, sense of certainty, to feel trusted, to feel safe, to feel smart, to be accepted. Now just think, is there anything I can do for myself to feel this on my own? Could I perhaps pick up some self-help book on this? You know, can I maybe see other folks that are doing this? Clearly, they've been doing it and it's been working for them. What are they doing? Read a self-help book. Look for a guided meditation. Try out a yoga lesson on YouTube. Write in your journal. Try affirmations. Go for walks. Try something new. It might spark an idea, you know? And the answer is yeah, you know, I could technically do all that. And then do it in the mindset of curiosity and discovery. Not in the sense of, oh, I got to fix myself. No. I'm saying this because I'm making fun of myself. I can laugh because I've been there multiple times, haven't we all? But doing it in the mindset of curiosity and discovery, viewing yourself as a spirit who just got the opportunity to come to earth and interact with others and discover. Just have this more childlike wonder about it. And give yourself a week of doing something for yourself every day. And then check in. Check in at the end of the week and be like, how did this make me feel? You know? It could even be cooking something or cleaning your room, something for yourself, and actually sit with whatever it was and be in your feelings. Actually be in your feelings and feel what it feels like. And I will say, sometimes the body will revolt and say, oh, this is dumb. This isn't doing anything. I don't know why we're wasting our time. Let's get back to feeling sad all the time and feeling bad all the time because it's comfortable. We know it. But you have to remember that's been a set and programmed thing to speak and behave and think, a certain way for a lot of us for years. It's not going to not have something to say about it. Your mind is not going to not have something to say about something new that's entering the system. Like, seriously, it's gonna want to have a conversation. But my thing is to rationalize. If you feel good after, or even felt like you got some deeper breaths while doing something or afterwards, you feel more connected to yourself, your body. It almost feels like you have a second of clarity. Then it's doing something good for you. You have to be your own cheerleader, your own attorney, essentially. But I promise, when you start putting yourself first, that will be the most unmatched happiness because it's coming from you. And the more and more you do it, the less of a battle, I've only been doing my stuff, and you'll be guided too through, like, you'll have like a feeling, thought like, hey, I used to draw a lot back in the day. Like, why did I get this feeling or thought to go draw? I guess I'll go do that. Then go do that. You know what I mean? Like, follow whatever it is. Or it's like, oh, I haven't hit up that friend in a long time. I'll just text them, see what's up. Just start following those intuitions, because when you're in a high vibration, and in a point where you're feeling good and you get an idea or that's usually inspired action happening. Okay. But what I'm saying is that in the beginning of me doing all of this, I had a lot of back talk going, but I just rationalized. I feel good when I do this. It makes sense to keep doing this, and go from there. Okay, let's get into the theory of the week. Happiness isn't something that needs to be searched for when it's been within you all along. Okay. All right. Thanks again for listening to another episode of Talk Theory. Thanks, guys, for liking and sharing these episodes. It means a lot. Continue to spread the love by sharing more, even today's app or any other episodes of your liking. It means a lot. All right. I shall see you next week. Okay. Love you. Bye.